Right.
Hang on a minute, let's make sure we got audio going. Yeah, awesome. Well then,
What happened was,
tell me the story.
we bought the bike off a guy who was from an estate, so they were selling it, but wasn't running when we got it.
Okay.
Got it home, got it started. At first it wouldn't start. What you do, turn the ignition on, you can hear the fuel pump prime,
Okay.
cuts out.
Yeah.
Then you can start it,
Yeah.
wouldn't work. So what happened was I messed about, got the wires sorted on the fuel pump,
Okay.
got it going, everything was working fine. Put the fuel in, got it running, everything was great. Turned it off, stripped the bike, bits and pieces, got it cleaned up and everything was off, got bits powder coated. Had it down to the frame with the engine, never touched the engine, nothing was touched at all. Put it all back together, got it going.
So it started okay then, yeah?
Put a new fuel pump on it.
Okay.
Got it going, start up straight away off the button, running great. My brother there was waiting for the fan to come on, for the warm up, so we get the cycle.
Yeah, yeah.
It did, worked great, running spot on, clicked in, heat, everything. We turned it off and that was it.
So you went to restart it and that was it?
A couple of days later,
okay,
we come back, try to start it, it'll fire over. This thing here doesn't work because it's bypassed inside, so
okay,
that's nothing.
Okay.
The thing is with these, they've got a, what's it called, a mobiliser on that side.
Okay.
You turn that off, it just kills the fuel pump and everything.
Okay.
So checked all that, that was all right. So I started going round, start with the first thing, spark. There's a spark there.
Yeah.
Fuel pump's priming, so the fuel's there.
Yeah.
It's just not triggering the injectors.
Okay.
The injectors are on a common rail.
Yeah, 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 like most of them, yeah.
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 But what happens is, on this, the yellow is live all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other one's a ground.
Yeah,
which
ground
gets
side switched.
pulsed
Yeah, yeah, that's
through
right.
the ECU.
Yeah, 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 I understand. Yeah.
So, obviously, I've checked everything. This side here, there's a fuel pump relay and there's an injector relay. So
Okay.
I've swapped them on mine.
Right.
Put them on mine.
So you've got a live to the injectors?
Live's there.
Okay. And have you measured injection pulse width or any sort of? No. So you don't know whether there's a signal to the injector. You just know it's. Do you know it's not getting fuel?
It's not getting fuel.
Right.
It doesn't smell of fuel or nothing.
Okay.
The spark's there, but apparently, according to this, what happens is, with it being the early version, believe it or not, these ones were off the Datsun 260, 280Z fuel injection system.
Right. Okay.
That's what these injectors are, Mr. Bushy injectors.
Yeah.
So they're working because I know what happened was my brother there was saying the injectors aren't working, the injectors. So I took the full bank manifold off, just with the, what's it called, the TPS on the front throttle position. I took all that as one, took it out because they're easy to get out, like the airboxes and everything's sound on these to take off. Took it off, put it on mine, key straight away, instant.
Oh, I see, right, because you've got the same bike and you've been substituting parts backwards and forwards. So you've had the ECU off this on yours and yours runs. So you've had the throttle bodies off this on yours. They work on there. What other bits have been swapped round?
Fuel pump relay.
Okay.
The injector relay this side.
Okay.
I've tried to start a solenoid, even though it was clicking. I thought there might be something from there.
Okay.
I've changed the fuse box on this side because there's a 30 amp fuse going straight to the injectors.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've checked the injectors. Actually put a Noid light on.
Okay.
For the injectors.
Yeah.
And it was very, very faint flickering.
Okay, interesting.
Right? They're there, they're live, but they're all on the one reel. I thought they'd be like timed. Like
are they sequentially fired? I don't know.
So
they'll be sequentially fired. So
this side here is an actual control unit for the injectors, which I think comes from the coil pickups.
Yeah.
Because I've got a diagram in there for you. You can have a quick look.
Yeah.
And you can see yourself where the actual lives are coming from and everything.
Okay.
So
that injector control unit, have you substitute that with yours?
Yes, I've got another. I've got the spare one.
You put this one on your bike and it worked. Okay.
The only thing I haven't done is the pickups, because obviously you've got to take the generator off and everything on this side.
Okay.
This one, with it being the fuel injection, this is wider on the side of a normal carb version because that's the extra bit for the fuel injection.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it's looking highly likely that it might be something wiring loom related.
It's
or
wiring
something.
loom related, either resistor or a diode in the wiring loom, because I've had everything else off.
Yeah. Okay.
What happens with these is what's I going to say, the injectors and everything on them, it's screwed with it being the very first.
I tell you what, this fucking compressor interrupts me all the time. You put a fucking camera on, compressor goes.
The very first fuel injection, so crude. They've got no camshaft sensor or nothing like that.
Okay.
It's all off the crank off these.
Yeah.
Now they've got.
Do you know? I'm not familiar. Obviously, I'm very familiar with fuel injection, but something this old. Do you know whether injectors are sequentially fired? I'm guessing they must be, just using, because normally with a sequentially fired system you have a cam sensor as well.
Yeah. These haven't. What they do is they've got it from the ECU. They read off the coils.
Okay.
When you look at the wiring diagram, they read off the coils.
Okay.
Also on this side, you've got an engine temperature sensor, not the coolant temperature. It's a separate one.
Yeah, that's sort of common with a modern system.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've got a little thing there. You can't get them. They're obsolete.
Okay.
Obviously, they're off a Porsche or a VW.
Right.
Air cooled.
Yeah.
So I've replaced it off mine.
Okay.
Put that on, no different. Also on that side, there's another one in there, and it's actual air temperature sensor. It's not a flow, it's a temperature. There's a little one there that goes to ECU.
Yep.
That controls the fueling for the mixtures.
Yeah.
So if I didn't have that ECU, we would have had to send it to what you call Cormo Electronics.
Yeah.
He does on. So just so happens I've tried mine thinking it was that, and it's exactly the same. I can put this on mine and it works perfect.
Okay.
It starts off the button.
So I need to get busy with an oscilloscope, don't I, and start measuring basically and understand exactly what's happening or not happening.
Well, all it is you've got two wires, positive and negative, obviously going straight to the injectors. Then
they're ground side switched, so they've got all on the same live effectively, and then they're ground side switched.
They're not individual. They're all on that one line.
Yeah.
Obviously, your fuel pumps on the common rail.
Yeah.
I've changed the accumulator.
The switched ground.
That's right.
Are they all on the same switched ground as well?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they're not sequentially fired then.
There's only two wires.
Yeah. Right. So they're not sequentially fired. They're all fired at the same time.
Right.
Right. Okay.
I've actually changed the fuel pump regulator there for the pressure.
Okay.
And I've actually swapped it on mine. I've actually got an adjustable one.
Yeah.
So I tried that. I've tried mine on it. For the fuel.
Have you measured fuel pressure in any way?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
The fuel pressure's there.
And what's it running at 3 bar, like a normal system?
I think I was looking at like something like 36 psi.
Yeah, give or take. Yeah. Normal. And sort of the standard is 42 psi.
Yeah.
Or 42.5 psi.
They'll run all right on that.
But that's for a modern. Yeah.
If you give them more pressure, they'll run richer.
Yeah. No. Of course. Yeah.
I'm learning all this because of mine, because I had to carry on my mine. The same, not the same thing. I mean, mine was running and it was great. As soon as it got hot, it would chuck it and run on 2 and 3.
Right.
And I had a right carry on. I ended up flushing the radiator, getting it all clean. It's perfect now.
Yeah.
So, like I say, the fuel pressure regulator there, it's accumulator, keeps the pressure there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as soon as you turn the ignition on, you'll get the fuel pump prime and it'll do its sequence. That's what I can't understand, because all this is off these relays there, the fuel pump and everything, the injectors, and it's working there.
Yeah.
It's just not coming from the actual ECU to the injectors, which is straight there under the seat.
Right. What have you got by way of bits? Have you brought anything with you?
I've brought them with us. I brought the ECU,
Okay.
the two relays, which is a fuel pump, and the injector one there.
Okay.
I bought the ignition one here, which is like a Mr. Bushy thing, which controls it from the this part going up to there to the ECU. So
interesting. And you got a wiring diagram.
Everything's
which
there.
Will be very helpful.
So obviously, as soon as you turn the key, do its sequence, you can crank it and it's perfect. The spark's there. I don't know how strong it'll be though. Brand new plugs in it.
Yep.
And everything.
Yep.
It's just got us baffled. I've tried and tried for weeks, changing parts around on mine, swapping bits off. Every time I seem to take something off there and put on mine, it works.
Yeah.
It's just got us stumped. It's got to be in the wiring, in the wiring loom. So I don't know whether there's a diode in there or a resistor. I know I was watching one of your videos and one about the Kawasaki's like in a 5-volt feed.
Yeah.
I don't know whether these do this. I don't know if it's up there in the ignition.
Well, you've got a spark, haven't you? So
spark's there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's in there.
Okay, cool.
part of that, there's a manual lathe.
Okay. Cool. This is what we like. Nice big coloured wiring diagrams.
Better one there, like.
Awesome. That'll be handy.
Can't get the diagrams. I had to go online and search for all that.
Yeah.
These
Have you got any objection for me copying this and putting it on my Discord?
No.
For other people?
No.
Okay, because
these are off mine. This is on that side there.
Yeah.
Which is a 3 going to it.
Okay.
Right, I've had that on. Perfect. Works on mine.
Okay.
I can eliminate it like I've been eliminating this. This is mine. This has actually been opened before. It's been repaired, but it's working fine because I've got it on mine.
Okay.
What the funny thing is with it, if they have an ignition fault or injection fault, that flashes a code.
Yeah, I remember this from back in the day. I'm old enough to remember.
And also they've got an AFI light on here.
Yeah.
That doesn't flash either. You get no like warnings or any codes.
Yeah.
That's why we need something with like an oscilloscope.
Yeah. I'm remembering this from. Do you remember the fuel injected GPZ 1100s?
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, that there will fit the 4-cylinder, even though it's a 6.
Right. Okay.
It's, like you were saying before.
Yeah, it's not sequentially fired. Yeah.
So you can actually use that on a GPZ11.
Yeah. It's the GPZ11 I remember. Yeah, it was like, ooh, it's rocket science when it fucking came out, wasn't it? Because it was fuel injected.
What are you thinking? What are you leaning towards?
To be honest, I've
absolutely
no idea at this point.
This thing here, the fuel injection and that, on the early ones, they had them in the actual head. The B1s on the GPZs. The later ones are perfected it to this one, which is the better one,
right?
Which actually goes in to the throttle bodies. It's spraying perfect because instant. As soon as I put the whole lot on mine, it just went.
Yeah.
So it's not the injectors, I know it isn't. Yeah. Obviously, if it was a dodgy injector, you would have fuel running out.
Well, and you'd have a misfire, and it would run on.
That's right. Yeah.
4 or 5, wouldn't it?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, like you see, I've had them. That's my ECU, and it's been on there. I've tried it on there. I've had his onto mine straight away.
Okay. We'll leave it with me, and we'll see where we end up. Cool. That'll do for the camera. That's awesome. Little bit of a story. Everybody loves a story. Okay, so the guys have just left. Nice guys. Beautiful motorbike. Holy moly. I'm just curious. I can't help myself. I should probably stop working. It's getting late, but I'm kind of conscious that these guys have driven 5 hours to get here, and they're staying overnight locally just down the road, and they're going to see another bike, and then they're driving back tomorrow. So it's a 10-hour round trip, and if I could come up with a solution quite quickly, they could take it back with them and save themselves 10 hours driving. So I'm not going to do loads, but I'm just curious after the conversation we just had. I'm going to back probe the injector feed and just see if the injector's been driven, basically. Probably won't go any further than that, but it's easy to get at this plug here, which incidentally has got its little wire clip missing for some reason. So we'll back probe that, and then let's zoom in there. Are we getting that? Or is it glary? No, we're getting that. Let's set this up. What do we need? Lab scope. 20 volts will probably do. I don't know. 100 millisecond time base. Let's have a trigger. What are we going to trigger? We'll trigger about 4 volts, about there. Okay, let's crank it, see if we get anything. We're going to see them, we're going to see a lot of activity. It's not like we're just looking, although it's in one injector, we'll probably see all 6 just because of the way it's wired. So, turn it on and contact. Yeah, okay. Can we zoom? E-zoomy? Oh, what did I just do? Oh, Jim. Sorry, let's go again. Well, we've definitely got activity, and Let's see if we can just zoom in a bit there. Can I zoom in a bit? What are you doing? You don't know how to work your own tool, Jim. Oh, it's because anyway, it doesn't matter. So it looks like if we count those, they'll be in groups of 6, more than likely. Anyway, there is some injector control. I don't really want to get into it any more than that. What I was just thinking then, though, get your mic close to it. Listen to this. It's got a bit of a gallop to the... It's got a little bit of a gallop to it. And... zoom back out. It's got a little bit of a gallop to it. And it doesn't sound like it's, I don't know, it sounds weird cranking to me. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what I always say to do before you start getting too involved with these things. Easy to get to. Let's just do a compression test. Okay, so I've just got the outside 2 cylinders to this side, to the other, because the inside 2, I don't want to have to take the fuel tank off. I'm not expecting anything too horrific, but you never know. It does sound weird cranking. Oh my god. Holy shit. Well, that's why it doesn't run. It's got no compression on that one. Let's try the next one. Full throttle. Jesus Christ. Okay. I think we have our answer without doing the rest of them. Let me go the other side. Will the gauge reach over so you can see it? Yes, I think it will, although it will be upside down. Fucking hell. That's number 6. Literally no compression. Question is why? I think we'll get a bore scope down in there and have a bit of a look. And this is cylinder number 5. Okay. There's no point in doing the inner 2, is there? Let's get a bore scope and have a look inside. Okie dokie. This is quite hard to do, and oh, some good score marks in the side of that cylinder. Got the next one. Where is that in its stroke, I wonder? Fuel vapor in there. See that? Injectors are definitely firing. That is fuel vapor that you can see. Doesn't look too bad, does it? There are some score marks. That valve's open, isn't it? What does that valve seat look like? Can we tell? It's hard to tell from here. Let's have a look at the other side. I might have to bring you round with me, this camera. This is number 6. Sort of, that looks like rust on that cylinder wall. And it's a bit scory. I need to upgrade my bore scope so I can articulate the end of it. Yeah, the score marks there, that looks like rust. What about the next one in, number 5? I mean, I've seen a lot worse, I've got to say. It does look sort of slightly scory, but you find with these bore scopes they can pick up not things that aren't there, but they can exaggerate what you're looking at. Oh, what's that on the cylinder wall? Is that aluminium? What is that? Yeah, it's kind of academic at this point, given no compression. Possibly the rings are gummed up. It's stood for a long, long time. Rings are gummed up. The rings, when they sit for many, many years, they lose their energy. That's something shiny on the cylinder wall there. That's, yeah, okay. I might just do a leak down test on one of them, just to see if we can get a sense of whether it's valves or you know, blow by past the piston rings. Let's do that quickly, and then we'll call this quits, and I can ring the guy and he can come back and get it tomorrow. Okay, so the idea is you blow air in, you get it on the compression stroke, and then you can listen in, you know, the crankcase breather, you can listen in the exhaust pipe or in the air filter side, and so guys, hang on, let me bring the camera down. Stand by. Oil filler. I can literally feel air blowing out of there. It's passing the rings. Let me, obviously you can't feel it, but if I get something like, so if I'm just trying to, it's nearly impossible. So if I put that little bit of paper there on the crankcase breather, wind the air pressure up a bit and connect it, watch what happens to that bit of paper. You get the idea. It's just blowing past the rings. I suspect the rings are gummed up. It's weird that it ran though. The cylinders were probably rusty, and you know, it's run a bit. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. It's all academic at this point. Cylinder head and barrels have got to come off. Well, that's shit. Fair dues. And I was thinking it was going to be something electrical, make a nice oscilloscopy video. Apparently not. Right, let me ring the guy and give him the bad news. Saved him 10 hours driving though, I suppose. He's going to ask me if I can do the engine work, isn't he? And the answer's no, unfortunately. I just haven't got the capacity at the moment. I am just too fully booked to take on something this monumental. Maybe in the winter time. Anyway, maybe an interesting video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. What did you learn? Didn't see that one coming, I've got to say. You can see, can't you, how you could very easily get shafted by a job like this. I mean, it was running 1 minute and then the next minute it wasn't. You just wouldn't think it was going to be low compression, would you? If there's any takeaway, it's got to be do a compression test, because I've been burnt like this poor guy a few times by not doing a compression test first. Yeah, and in this instance, I mean, I'm not sure I would have gone straight to a compression test. I think just because I'd sort of come to it with a fresh set of eyes, if you like. I was thinking about it logically. If I'd had it and it was running 1 minute and then it wasn't the next, yeah, do a compression test first. Thanks guys, see you in the next one.